Quickly before we begin, as you will notice that this is a review of episodes 1 through 3, and that is because this is the high school focused half of the 5th season. The 5th season is divided into the high school half and the 7 years later where they're all adults half. So I'm going to be focusing on the high school today since the adults half isn't finished. But let's talk some Riverdale. Riverdale season 5 picks up exactly where season 4 left off since they didn't finish shooting season 4 by the end of COVID. It's stupid, but whatever. It follows Jughead and Betty as they try to figure out who the auteur of the tapes are, and Archie and Veronica as Veronica tries to pretty much help Archie get into college. I don't know, something like that. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed that the show did this, because for the better part of 4 to 5 years now, we have been just focused on these 20-something-year-old, 15-year-olds going through high school and life, and, you know, it was really a kids-focused part, but now I really like seeing that coming-of-age element. And not to say that the show has never been coming-of-age. There have always been some very coming-of-age elements in the show. But I just like to see that, yeah, these characters are growing up and they gotta realize that you can't be kids forever. They can't stay in Riverdale and hunt down every serial killer that comes into town every other weekend. I think one of the greatest story arcs in the whole show has got to be FP, because if you don't know, Skeet Ulrich is no longer in the show. He is done with this shit. But FP Jones, Jughead's dad, he is probably the most fulfilling character in the entire show, other than Fred Andrews, who they gave a great send-off in season 4 after the actor Luke Perry unexpectedly died. But, you know, FP started out as a deadbeat dad. He wasn't really there for his kid. His kid was actually homeless because he didn't want to live with him. And, you know, eventually he came forward about the murder of Jason Blossom, even though he didn't commit it. He came through with his part of it, cleaning up the body and all that. And he went to jail. He was able to show his son that he wants to be a good guy. And he actually, the more the season goes on, and the more the series goes on, FP's character keeps going up in a more affectionate way. And I always love seeing that. Of course, in season 1, he would sometimes go downhill. In season 2, he went downhill a bit, since he is an alcoholic. But the way they gave him a send-off, I just really enjoyed. How he takes Jughead's sister Jellybean to Toledo to be with her mom, because it turns out that Jellybean is the auteur of the videotapes, and he thinks that Jellybean needs both her parents, because Jughead's going to be off at college. I just love the frickin' shot of FP putting on the goggles and Jellybean putting on the helmet, and them riding off on FP's motorcycle, and the frickin' serpents are following them out. I just loved it. It was a great send-off for the Serpent King. A character, though, that I think they did dirty and tried to make me care about was Cheryl's mom, Penelope Blossom. I didn't give a rat's ass about her. She turned herself in. She wanted things to be good between her and her daughter. I just don't like her in general. I mean, you tried to kill my favorite characters. What do you want from me? Actually, and for a second, speaking of favorite characters, my all-time favorite character is still Jughead Jones, Cole Sprouse. You know, for this occasion, I'm just gonna break out the awful homemade Jughead beanie that I made in the 7th grade. But, you know, Jughead is just an amazing character, and I really, really, really love him. He's a good writer. He's a good leader. He's everything you want to see in a character. And Cole Sprouse portrays him so perfectly, and that's one of the things I really love about Jughead is that he's played by Cole Sprouse. But later in the show, Jughead finds out that in season 4, Betty did cheat on him with Archie, which, like, kind of fucked up Betty. And Veronica finds out that Archie cheated on her with Betty. And, you know, there's kind of that teen drama aspect, but I think it works because it gives Jughead's character in the adult half a real emotional meaning, except for that voicemail he left.
Betty, where the hell are you? You said you were gonna come to my release party, but what, you bailed? Of course you bailed. You've just been blowing me off for years. Why should I have even expected anything different? You know, I see you, Betty. I see what I should have seen 7 years ago. You pretend to be nice, but you're only looking for weak spots, and when you find them, you press on them like a bruise. Like when you hooked up with Archie. You know, you found the one person that would hurt both me and Veronica, and you just went there. You're a cold, fake, duplicitous bitch. And once people read my book, everyone's gonna see that.
Wow.
But we'll get to that in the adult half when I cover it, whenever that's finished. Overall, I think Riverdale Season 5, the kids half, is a great send-off to show that these kids are no longer kids, they're adults, and I think it's a great way to end the high school chapter of their lives. Again, it's not all good because it's freaking Riverdale, but still, it's good nonetheless. Very impactful. So Riverdale Season 5, what are you guys thinking about it since it's still airing? And comment down below if you want to see more of my videos. Who's your favorite Riverdale character, and how do you think that Jughead's character arc is going to be completed in the show? Because personally, I think they're going to kill him off, unfortunately. Alright, everybody, I'll see you all later.